Hello, I'm Sheen. I'm a 16-year-old college student who enjoys playing video games. By the background footage, you can clearly see I obviously favor FPS games like Siege, Valorant, Counter-Strike, The Finals, Apex, and many more. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm bad. I hope I don't seem bad by the background footage. I've just kind of picked out whatever I thought looked good. I would say I'm around the average player. However, as a person, I can be extremely competitive. I like to try be the best in nearly everything I do, which I feel I want to start being able to reflect in my gameplay in aim, mainly with aim. My aim has normally been the weaker part of my games. I'm normally got the game sense down and maybe the movement mechanics depending on the game. For example, Apex, I can tap strafe, I can do all the zipline tech, however my aim is not always my strong point. As I've as I've looked into how to get better, I have come across many videos on how to do this, such as my peripherals I should be using, the grip styles I should be using, how to position myself, what sort of aim labs techniques I should be using, and also what third-party softwares I should be using. For example, I got told a lot of Raw XL was a big one. Obviously, in my opinion, you shouldn't do that. It changes your sense depending on how fast you move your hand, which can mess up your aim and your consistency. But that's just my opinion. You can do as you please, whatever you want. I also got taught posture by another person. Along this journey, I found many creators and members of the aiming community, such as Matty OW, Riley CS, and the Aim Stars community of, I believe, Valorant and Counter-Strike. But a group specifically stuck out to me. It's a group of 3 Australians who are very big on tracking, from what I've seen, called Raw Input. All 3 members really stuck out to me in their own right, such as Miss Colors, Pingu, but most of all, the person who stuck out to me the most is Viscose. Watching her, I was amazed at her aim. To me, someone not very familiar to their aim community scene and what they do, it looks like cheating, and I very nearly completely wrote her off as a cheater and wanted to go back to the old people that I watched. But when I started looking at her hand cam and looking closely at the videos, it lines up perfectly, which proves to me that it's her aim, her doing it. I was completely blown away by this, and I discovered a newfound want and need for my aim to look like this. I want to be able to be accused of cheating, even though it's just my raw aim. And this leads me to talk about what I'm going to try to do in these next few videos. Out of me wanting to be like Viscose, I found her Discord, and I asked many questions such as, what mouse is correct for my grip? I personally use a claw fingertip hybrid, so I will claw, for example, Apex movement, but when it comes to aiming and tracking, I'll swap to a fingertip and track you with fingertip. Or like what sensitivity I should use, which I probably shouldn't ask because it should be what I feel comfortable with. But it turns out a lot of my settings are very similar to Viscose's actually, which I found quite funny when I discovered that. And I was given aim playlists to do and worksheets to look at, like ranks that I could do, which I haven't gotten into yet because I'm not good enough, but we will get there. And it's opened my eyes to what they do to make their aim so good. Some of these activities are so difficult for me. And I like to think that my aim is naturally pretty decent. The clip you are watching is my aim naturally. No aiming. This is me just playing the game. Right? This is me learning how to aim off of playing Apex. Right? I would say, even without aiming training, I'm naturally pretty decent, okay? I wouldn't say it's awful, I wouldn't say it's good. But I couldn't do these tasks. I had to go to the easiest ones they could give you. And I'm still not doing as good as I thought I would do. It's an eye-opener, really, as to how hard what they do actually is, which just makes me want it more. So I've practiced and practiced and practiced in an attempt to get what I want. I got score after score after score, on tracking, target switching, flicks, static flicks, and like game after game, I could see it getting better and better and better until I wanted to take it more seriously. The document I was given had a weekly routine to be stuck to. So, for example, Monday and Tuesday, I believe, are tracking. Wednesday and Thursday are static flicks, and Friday and Saturday are target switching. Now, because when I was doing this, it was currently Friday, I started with target switching. And the scores I got weren't terrible for a first time, I'd say. Now, you can see with each of these scores, the challenge results bit where it tells you the name of the challenge I did all say entry. That means this is literally the easiest thing they can hand me. And my scores are still, in my opinion, very low. I don't like them. I don't think they're good enough, right? I want to make this better. I want to be able to do the hardest challenges and have I want to be at least top 100, top 50 on those leaderboards for the hardest ones. However, I don't 100% know how to do that, so I'm going to almost document on YouTube my way of figuring this out and making my aim better. So this original obsession came from me wanting to go pro in a lot of games I used to play. I used to play them a lot, very competitively, which often sort of sucked the fun out of the game because obviously I'm trying to play to be the best of the best or go pro, which in my opinion you shouldn't really do unless you're already getting offers and you're just playing casually and getting offers, because it puts so much stress on you and starts making playing games feel like a job. I would rather now play them to improve myself and content create instead, as I believe it would be less stress on me and I'd find it a lot more fun, and I'd be able to enjoy playing games a lot more than I have been recently, right? This is a clip of me doing the task of speed switch 90 entry, and you can see that it's messy. I'm not tracking after the flicks, for one. For two, my micro adjustment is terrible because I've just never really was taught how to do it. When I used to play aim trainers and I was told to aim train, I played 6-shot and grid shot on aim labs, okay? It doesn't help you. It's fun, don't get me wrong. I still love to play it from time to time when I'm bored. It is really fun, just like flicking about and shooting the dots. But in my opinion, it doesn't help you at all. It doesn't help your fundamentals. It doesn't help my micro adjustment because I could just flick and 9 times out of 10 it will land because of how small it is. You know, I don't see it as much help compared to a lot of the things I've been seeing recently, such as the Voltaic, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Those set of routines on aim labs, as well as I think Viscos has some of her own routines that she's made, or like one or two she's had crossovers with. I believe, I could be wrong, sorry if I am. These, in my opinion, have come across as more helpful for me to learn how to aim, because tracking's been one of my weak spots. I can flick, but I can't track because of what I've subconsciously taught myself with me using aim trainers poorly in the past. Okay, so the clip of the finals you're seeing now is the game that I played right after doing the aim training, where I got those scores that you also saw a couple minutes ago. Just bear with the gameplay. I'm not familiar with the finals whatsoever. I'm not good at it. I don't know what's going on most of the time when I play it. Also, my PC seems to struggle to run the game whenever I record or stream it or whatever, so it might be a bit choppy. I apologize. I am purely playing this game to improve my aim. If I'm honest, I don't fully enjoy it. It's not my cup of tea for a video game. I don't like the objective sort of part of the game. I don't like how you play them. I can appreciate how much time was put into make them the way they are, and how much other people enjoy it. However, the only reason I'd ever play this game is for the shooting mechanics, because it's probably some of the best I've ever used. However, I just can't find my way to enjoy. I can't figure out how to enjoy it. So when I played Valorant, used to be my main game, that game was the reason I wanted to go pro so badly, because I loved the pro scene of that game. I was obsessed with it, especially in the form of the Team Sentinels. You know, Ten, Sussy, John QT, Zelsus, Second, a lot of them. I loved every single one of them. And even before then, when it was, you know, you had Sick, Sinatra, Shazam, those kind of guys. Sentinels is what made me want to go pro as an orc. It was them, and partly another pro player called Oxy, and another one called Fluorescent. Fluorescent also sort of woke up what me wanting to learn how to aim, but her style of aiming, which is very flicky based, which is where all the flicking comes from, because that's how I've developed my aim over the years, from me wanting to go pro in Val. But as I've played games more and more, wanting to go pro in the ones I've touched, I've kind of found it ruins the fun for me, because at the end of the day, don't think I'm good enough to go pro. I reckon I'm good enough that if I put the time into a game instead of playing multiple all the time like I do now, I could hit a high rank if I wanted to. But I'm not good enough to go pro. I feel like you need a very specific set of skills, you need a very specific set of genetics, and I just don't have that. I can't force it, and that's just the way it is. I'd rather go to content creation to save myself the stress. Not saying that content creation isn't stressful, but pro play, you've got scrims 5 days a week. You've got to worry about your performance constantly, because you do bad, you lose fans, and you're losing money for the org, blah 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 blah. So I'm going to try to start my career by completely reevaluating the way I aim, essentially. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. I'm not very good at this. That's an ice cream van, lovely. Okay, ice cream van gone. So I really want my aim to look like Viscose, and I'm not 100% sure how to do it. So again, I want to try to figure that out and share my journey with you guys on the internet. So think of this video as an introduction to me, my journey, and what I want to put out on the internet. Okay, I'm gonna stop waffling now, and I'm gonna let the clips play. Think whatever you want. Also, help me out in the comments, please, I'm begging you. thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry that the clips that I showed you weren't the best. I will work on that. That is what this series is about. The background ones have actually been better without like the hand cam. These are just ones that I got from just playing casually. Instead of trying to like farm. That's bad. But again, thank you for watching. I don't know when I'll get the other one out. It's whenever I remember. I'm very bad at this sort of thing. I'm very sorry. You're gonna have like the most uncertain schedule all time. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye.